Hi, you guys. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, all the expecting mothers, the stepmoms, grandmoms, aunts, everybody who stepped up to the motherly role and just took on it and graced it with just love and compassion for their children or for whoever they're rearing and raising. Just know I love you all. Also, congratulations to class of 2018, all the graduates everywhere, from all the universities, all the colleges, all the high schools everywhere. Congratulations to you. So today, this video is basically just going to briefly discuss what it is like being a surviving daughter, having that. This is Mother's Day. Mother's Day can be very tough for individuals like myself whose mom has transitioned onto glory. And I just really wanted to make a video out to the lovely people who have lost their mother, whether you are a man or a woman, and you just know that you are a survivor, simply put. And especially this video is definitely to my fellow young people who have lost their mom at a young age, because I just feel like it brings on a whole different dynamic of losing your mom at a younger age. And yeah, so this day can definitely be very tough for you. But just know that God loves you and I love you, and I'm praying for you. It's just that simple. So yeah, being a surviving daughter, it is a challenge. You have your good days and you definitely have your bad days, and that's just normal. That just comes with the process of grief. And I learned so much through my mother's death alone about her, about love, about sacrifice, about God, most importantly, and his love for me. I lost my mom my freshman year during winter break. It was very sudden. Nobody saw it coming, but we definitely felt a spiritual change in the atmosphere for as my mom. I know she felt it too. My mom and I am definitely very intuitive, some would say, but I like to say I'm very discerning. So God was definitely talking to me about how there was going to be a break in normalcy, and I just didn't know what to make of it. At the time, I was just like, okay, God, like, I hear you. God was saying there was going to be a shift, and I just didn't know it was going to be me losing my mom. But I felt like my mom, looking back at it and looking at our last encounters and experiences with each other or with one another, I would definitely say that my mom definitely felt something going on. I feel like she didn't want to admit it, but and nobody does, of course. But I feel like she knew that she was definitely going to go on to glory soon. And that she did, and she did it in front of me and my father. Which I feel like I have a lot of peace with. The only prayer that I had to God was that I didn't want to continue to relive that through a dream. And God is so good that he has not given me a dream. I have not had a nightmare or a dream about my mom, me losing my mom. But I always told God, like, yeah, I know you're taking your mom away from me, but I pray that you will just allow me to sleep at night. Just give me peace. And literally, I have that in my journal of me just writing and praying to God on my way back from Georgia. On my way back from Georgia, I was just writing and praying to God. I was just like, God, I know you can get me through this. I heard him ever so clearly. He said he took my mom away for my ministry, to enhance my ministry. And ever since that moment, I've been trying to be very diligent and to really seeking and working and doing the work that God has called me to do, because I realize that we all have a deadline, whether we like it or not. And as we continue to live life daily, we are making ourselves closer to our final day, our death mark. So we are depleting. Although we're living daily, we are also dying every day. My mom's death has taught me so much about life and death, and it's just so amazing how death can teach you about life. But that's just how God works, and that's how things work, and that's how life goes. So yeah, I learned a lot about my mom, how sacrificial she really was. I knew that she was sacrificial for me. I knew that she was one who was very prepared for emergencies. But it wasn't until after losing my mom that I realized, and doing all the funeral planning, that I realized my mom really, really was prepared for her death. Not just in a spiritual way, but also in a financial way, which is a more legalistic point of view of how a parent can prepare you. But honestly, y'all, that shows love in itself, when your parent prepares for their own death, so that their children doesn't have to go with the burden of just trying to figure out how we're going to do this and how we're going to do that. And my mom, I'm glad she foresaw that, life would soon end, and she looked out for me, and she looked out for my family, about how she just looked out for us. And my mom was always that type of person, looking out for people and just looking out for me. I would say that my mom was definitely my miracle. And others would say to me how much my mom loved me, because essentially I was her miracle. I know especially she tried one time before me of having a baby, and she had a miscarriage. But I came right after. And so a lot of times people who really know her would come up to me, or who knew her then when she first had me, would come up to me, just really making sure, just reiterating the point of like, I was my mom's angel. She loved me. But the thing is, I loved her. We were so attached at the hip, and she got me. She gets me. If nobody else had me, got me, or really understood me, my mama did. Because when my dad was at church a lot, doing, pastoral duties, I would be with my mom. I would be with my mom when I'm not with my dad. And we would just sit and talk. We would just talk about life, about everything. And she just got me. She always got me. And that was something that I really admired about my mom, about how diligent she was in listening, and just really trying to figure out how I was. So yeah, and I'm that type of person who really doesn't like sharing like how I'm truly feeling, because I put on that role of like, I'm always okay, I'm always good, like, yeah, I'm good. But it wasn't until like really losing my mom, and the year after that, when I was just deep in depression, that I realized that I could no longer afford to just continue to suppress my emotions. I had to let them out. In a way, I had to let them out by really confiding with God, and really trying to say like what was going on with me through therapy, through talking with my dad, and just talking with my family, and those people who really care about me, who really wants to see me progress. And I had to learn that the hard way, because a lot of times I would suppress my emotions. Then I would wind up becoming attached to these cycles, and I would be attached to doing habits and being around people and being in relationships that just were not conducive to where God was taking me next and what God was doing in my life. He was literally trying to do a season of purging, a season of cleaning and just purging. I love my mother, and my mom was my support system. So having everything, I would call my mom my crutch, because in a sense, my mom did spoil me. Because I was her only child. I was her miracle baby. So yes, I was definitely spoiled by my mom. And now, where a lot of people would look at that as a bad thing, I look at it as a great thing now, because of the fact I don't have those moments, but I have these moments of just in my memory of how much she really loved me, and how she showed me her affection through spoiling and just sharing her love to me. And that was just an amazing piece about my mom. But yes, I truly, 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 truly miss my mom. I love my mom. And I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her because she lost her mother at 2 years old. And whereas I have the opportunity to have tangible memories where I can really